Hi, everyone. Welcome to another California Psychics Live. I'm Carly. I'll be your moderator today, and I'm also here with Carson, who will be co-moderating with me as we do some training. And then we are here with the lovely Psychic Marin. Marin, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Gosh, it's 70 degrees out and sunny, and it is beautiful. So I couldn't be happier right now.
That is good to hear. Good to hear. Carson, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great today. Honestly, I'm excited to have, I guess, my first live stream. And yeah, I'm doing a little bit, I guess, colder over here in Texas. We're, I guess, now into like the 40s. So honestly, kind of jealous of you, Marin.
California Psychic.
Well, thank you both for being here today, and thank you all for coming here to watch. We have a great show. We're going to answer as many questions as we can in the next hour. A few ground rules for anyone that is new here. We can't answer any questions about, medical or health questions, anything about COVID or pregnancy or any illnesses. We also can't answer any questions about legal questions. So nothing about court cases or anything like that. But anything on love and relationships, your career, a deceased loved one, all of that is up for game. And like I said, we're going to get to as many questions in the next hour. And you're going to want to wait till the end, because the last 15 or 20 minutes, Marin is going to pull tarot cards. So, for example, if you don't want to ask a very specific question, you don't want everyone to see what your question is about. At the end, you can wait and just say, I want a tarot card for my love life or my career, or just say, I want a tarot card. Marin will pull a card and interpret what that card could mean for you. So again, you're going to want to wait till the end, because that's like rapid fire, where Marin is just going to go as fast as we can to get to even more questions. So without any further ado, Marin, are you ready for the first question?
Yes, ma'am. Let's go.
All right. And our first question is, hello, Marin and Carly. My name is Angelica. May I please ask when Michael will reach out to me?
2.5. Timeline is 2.5 weeks. But then I start to see 3 weeks is when it's a little bit more consistent picking up. By the end of this month, it will start to become more consistent, which I anticipate that evolving into more of a reconciliation. But right now, it just looks like avoidance, almost intentional avoidance. So give it 2.5 weeks.
Awesome.
Intentional.
And so our next question comes from Vanessa. Hello, Marin. You're the very best and so spot on everything. I value your readings. What do you see for me and Tom within the next few months?
Oh, thank you for the kind feedback. You are two. So, gosh, this feels like this is going to be more of the spring of travel and getting out, and a lot more of like weekend one-on-one time. I've seen this a lot, and I really think that it's just more of the sense of cabin fever, and we've all been more in this lockdown, and I see that you're right there along track with a lot of people that I have seen that you are going to be out and about in a lot of weekend excursions. By August is when I feel like it's very, very intense, very serious. So you are definitely on the right track in this relationship. But 2 months is when you're just going to be kind of flying by the seat of your pants, very busy with a lot of fun activities and events together.
That sounds good. Always like when it's good news.
I know. So far, so good.
So our next question comes from Lisa. Hello, Marin. Do you see me and Jareed being just friends, or will it turn out to be something more?
Yikes. I would say just friends. Could be friends with a little extra. But I just don't see that loyalty and that commitment and more of a sense of I'm ready for responsibilities of a serious relationship. So it's something where I would be careful, making sure that you guys are on the same page with the realistic expectation. A lot of fun, but I just feel like you guys are wanting opposite things from this relationship.
That is always good to know ahead of time. That's the benefits of having this, not just a friend tell you, what they think, but someone with some intuition to let you know whether or not you should go down that rocky path or not.
Yeah,
Right.
just having a realistic expectation, even though what you're feeling are the butterflies and the excitement, and I don't think that he's misleading you. It's just something where it's not being talked about because I think you don't really want to know. You just want to have fun with it, but just keep it in the back of your mind so you avoid that real heartache. A lot of fun. It's something where if you really trailed this relationship and were in each other's lives, it's going to take about 1.5 years until he's really looking at, I'm ready to settle down and ready for marriage. So that's another little tidbit of information, just so you know his time frame, if you're wanting to hang in and tell that and be in kind of the background to some extent. But you're very compatible, really attracted, same energy and chemistry, but it's more about like, I just don't want the burden or the responsibility of that relationship right now. That's what the hurdle is.
And so our next question comes from Doreen. Good evening. Glad you are on tonight. I could use some guidance in my next career move. I had an interview on Friday and I'm waiting to see if the second round I am picked for it. Can you shed some light, please?
Yes. There are three. I believe there are 3 candidates. I think that you are very high in the running. The one thing that they are really looking for that they haven't seen yet is your ability to have that faster pace and keeping up. And I have a feeling that that has more to do with technology and introduction of a lot of just tools and programs. And you're going to be bombarded with more of a fast pace schedule. And so what they're wanting to see is, can you operate under that degree of multitasking and stress and fast pace? It's kind of pushing you out of your comfort zone just a little bit. I still think that you're a strong candidate, but I wouldn't want this to be a heartbreak for you if it didn't work out and if they didn't get that impression. If you want to put yourself in the best odds of getting this job, you've got to show that you're that go, go, go. I'm driven. I can do this. Let me get right back to you. I'll send that to you in 10 minutes. That's what they haven't seen yet. So I give you that advice, even though that's contrary to your energy. You might want to keep looking to find a job that has a pace that's going to be more sustainable rather than pushing you into this extreme. So that's the best advice I can give you about this. I think that you still have a chance if you really want to showcase that.
It's always about that hope, and then I guess you never want to, I guess overestimate yourself as well,
Yeah. It's hard to, what do they say, count the chickens before they hatch, but I think that you have put, I feel the sense of, oh gosh, I want it, but I don't want to get my hopes up. And you are very level-headed and realistic in how you're viewing this. But I think that you're also trying to prove to yourself and them that I can do it and I can keep up. But do you really want to? Do you really want to create this pace of life for yourself? Because I mean, right now we all know there's a lot of job opportunities. So make sure you choose something that's within reason, where you're not going to be a frantic stress ball from a lifestyle and a pace that's just not really you.
And so our next question comes from Crystal. She says, "Hey, Marin and Carson, I won my government job back. When do you see me physically going back, and how long do you see me staying after all of this?"
I'm intrigued to know why you want that back. Is it the benefits? Is the security? Because I get just a hair over 2 months. So I feel like, yep, this is going to be easy for you. You can get your foot back. You can go on down that path. But then I'm looking at 2 years, 3 months. I just get that you're beating your head against the wall, like the frustrations, the monotony, the feeling of complacency. It's very similar response that I was just talking with the prior question. It's not really you. but I understand your reasons and why you're wanting this. So I see this is already set. It's about 2 months, and then you're only there for a couple years. So I'm trying to understand what purpose is that serving. Is it just a temporary reprieve or security, but benefits, retirement, getting back in that line of work and that system? Yeah, there's some security, but you've also got to weigh in the quality of life and the happiness factor. So that's why I feel like it's a shorter endeavor.
Makes sense. And we're hovering right around 101, 102 people watching right now. If you're over on Facebook, make sure you tag a person in the comments. Let them know we're going to be here for the next 50 minutes. I had to check. We're here for the next 50 minutes answering as many questions as we can. Go ahead and hit that heart button, that like on Facebook. And if you're over on YouTube, shoot this link to all your friends. Let them know we're going to be here answering, again, as many questions as we can. I want to thank some people that are watching, people like Aaron Smith and Marissa Bennett and Kim Stewart and Lena Irene over on Facebook, and over on YouTube we have Linda and Sharika and Deneen and Frederica. So thank you everyone for watching. We would definitely not be here if we didn't have anyone watching us, so we appreciate it. Oh, we got another thank you. Thank you. You are correct. Thank you for answering my question. Oh, I always like when we get those comments back too.
Yeah, this is from our previous question.
Thank you.
Yes. So again, thank you all for watching. Because you're watching, I also want to remind you we have a promo code. If you are a new customer and have never gotten a psychic reading before, you can use the promo code LIVE5. It's on the bottom of the screen right now. LIVE5 will get you $5 extra added on to your account whenever you create your account for the first time and get your first psychic reading. $5 extra. And don't worry, if you are already a loyal California Psychics customer, I believe if you check your account right now, we also have some promos going on for you at this moment. So definitely go, not right now, wait until after the live. We want to make sure you get your free question answered today, but go online, create your account for the first time if you don't have one. And if you do, check your account for any promos we have going on right now. Now, Carson, do you want to get to the next question?
Awesome. And so we have one from Octavia. I can't seem to get this guy out of my mind. When will I hear from Derek? Does he miss me?
Holy cow. This is only starting. You both are on the exact same wavelength, simultaneous thoughts of attraction and chemistry, and I want to see you, but this is really more of a sexual, very high attraction and passion, and not, I'm ready for this relationship. So yes, you two are really thinking about each other, and it feels like this is fireworks. But what I see is hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Like you will come together and a couple weeks go by. You come together, a couple weeks. So timing for this is April, just a hair, late March, early into April. That's when I see the roller coaster of that touch and go. But, you know, I continue to see all of these signs of how much you are enjoying this, how it's almost like an addiction of just being able to talk to each other and see each other and all of this fire. But I don't see this desire to commit and be together. I think that you both, you want this, but there's a certain limit of what he's willing to give and the sustainability of the relationship. Unlike what I was previously saying with the other people, I don't have to caution you or say, be careful, because I feel like you're very aware. You've been with this person, you know the tendencies and the patterns, and I think that you've got your eyes wide open to know what you're getting into, and you're going to have a lot of fun. So I can't discourage this, but I just want you to know that it is going to be up and down and up and down and up and down for months, all the way up until November. Like then there's a little bit of a fallout for a couple months, but you guys are going to have a lot of connections, I'll say, this year.
That's always nice to hear, especially around Valentine's Day as well.
Ah, that's right, Carson. We've got Valentine's Day in about a week. So yeah, let's get some Valentine's questions and love questions going, because this is the month for it. This is the week for it.
Well, I guess there's a different kind of love question. Hi, Marin. When can I expect Larry to make me his girlfriend, or is he still stuck on his ex?
Uh-oh.
He's not stuck on his ex, but he's stuck in this period of repairing and kind of regaining that perspective of who I am and what I'm wanting. And I I I'm baffled by what happened. Like, there's still this healing process. This is going to take a few more months than what you're prepared for. So you've got to be in that friend zone until early May. You will be that support person. You'll talk. You're going to learn a lot about the pitfalls and what happened in that relationship, and just a lot of clues as you learn about him when the two of you are talking. So this is great for you to be that friend for now. And the more you can diminish any expectation and be that buddy or chit chat or hang out occasionally, that's going to reserve that position. So early May is when I see this just gradually evolving from friendship to dating. And it's a very graceful transition into a real relationship. So green light, it's you're handling this very well.
Nice. And Marin, if Mariah or anyone else wants to have a one-on-one reading to get a little bit more information out of whatever they hear today, what's your schedule for the rest of the week so people can catch you?
Yeah. So I will be on later this evening. I've got a couple appointment slots, so you can always call into customer service and secure one of those appointments. 7, 8 o'clock Pacific time tonight, I've got some slots. Tomorrow's a little bit trickier. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, gosh, I think I've got many, many hours Friday and all day on Sunday this week. So I'm sorry for the delay for those of you that may have to wait. I hope I'm worth the wait, but I do have some sporadic hours prior to this weekend. It's just been a little bit of a busier week for me. So sorry, I'm not more available until later this week.
Not a problem. Like you said, you are worth the wait. But if anyone needs a burning question answered right away, Marin had mentioned our customer service team. They are fantastic at making sure that you get connected to the right psychic, the best one for your question. So you can, of course, go online or download our app to book your own appointments or get your own reading. But you can also call customer service, and they will help connect you to the best psychic that is online at that moment for the question type that you have. So however you want to do it, download the app, go to our website, or call customer service. You can't go wrong to get a psychic that can answer your question.
Yes.
Awesome. And so before we get to our next question, I want to remind everybody that if you are asking a question about somebody else, please remember to include their name as well so that Marin can connect faster. And yeah. So Marianne says, hi, Marin, I'm having some serious trust issues with Jeff. Can you offer some insight into him, please? Thank you so much.
Oh, and just a big shout out to Mary Ann, because she is one of my dearest. She's been with me for over 10 years. So thank you, Mary Ann. And I'm sorry you're experiencing this issue. But yes, we have talked about this, and you are going to be experiencing some of these issues as the family dynamic is changing, as he's trying to figure out what his role is going to be in that, how present he's going to be. So that back and forth that you're feeling, or his indecisiveness, is him trying to minimize that commitment with you right now and minimize hurting you as he's pulling away. But you are staying the course. I don't see your commitment changing. I don't see your desires changing. The amount of you reaching out or talking or communicating, you're just going to step back just a little bit. And I know that that's going to cause him to realize what he is missing out on, and to make sure that he nurtures this as he's going through all this change. So I know you're going to feel those trust issues, and because that's the reality of what's going on right now. So I can't sugarcoat that, but I do see this evolving as we've discussed. So thank you for sending in your question and watching today.
Awesome. And so the next question comes from Deneen. Are Joshua and I still on track for a relationship?
Okay, you will be in about 2 more weeks. You'll feel it. I feel like this is more circumstantial and not anything that's really happened between the two of you. Nobody else that's changing the outcome of this. That's like a third party coming in. I just feel like it has more to do with lifestyle and timing and busy. And so there's just a little bit of a distraction right now, but in 2 weeks, you're not going to notice that there's any problem. So this is just trying to get through those next couple weeks without reading too much into it or worrying, because I don't think there's any need for you to worry.
We always love to hear that.
Yeah, these have been good questions so far.
I know.
Okay. So excuse me. This is from Josie. Excuse me if I butchered that name. Hi, do you see me and Gabriel having a more stable relationship in the future?
Thank you for the names, because there's 2 people around you. And that's helpful to decipher. The answer is no. Gosh, maybe I spoke too soon, because this is a situation where I get that there's another person coming in, somebody that you already know, but I don't believe that there has been a relationship with this person. And I feel like when you're a little bit disappointed and this relationship's not working out, you're distracted by this other person that starts winning your time and your energy and attention. And I would describe this as you're going to have your hands full at the beginning of March. Like, you're going to feel like, what am I doing? Or who do I choose? That might be a good time to reach out to somebody to get a one-on-one reading, because there's so many differences in these qualities. So the short answer is I don't see that this is so streamlined and on track that this is it and this is your next person, because you're going to be thrown this curveball early March.
I always like whenever the psychics, especially you, Marin, give timelines, something to kind of look out for. And I know timelines always change, but having that initial reference is always nice to have.
Thank you. I was just, that reminds me of a caller that I was speaking with last night, that if I am looking at timelines in my mind, it's like I'm looking at a calendar. It's like looking at a calendar, just flipping through a calendar, and then all of a sudden seeing, when does the week light up? What is that showing me? And it's very easy to look at, when do I get this acceptance letter? Or when am I promoted? Or when do I buy the home? But when I'm looking at somebody's emotion that's a lot more fluid, those are where those timelines can get a little bit trickier. And I try my best, but there is a real difference from my perspective in looking at something that's a little bit more concrete versus the fluid emotion of somebody, especially when it's like, when's he going to call? Trying to get it to that exact week or day, that can be a tad trickier, but I still am blessed with having information that helps me pinpoint it as precisely as I can.
That is awesome.
And this is a follow-up from a previous question. This is from Marianne. Thank you so much. I will talk with you later tonight. Love you so much.
You, oh gosh, I've met so many friends. It's great. Thank you, Marianne.
Okay, and so our next question will be coming from Wendy. Hello, Marin. Can you tell me if you see Alex coming home soon?
Oh boy, that was just a punch in the gut of heartache and emotion and longing. So there's a lot underlying this. Three more. It's right around 3 more weeks is when I see that it's the planning of this is starting. The real change is happening in March. I can say that by April, it looks like it's now solid and that has happened. but I feel like there's a couple back and forth, like testing the water again. And I think I need to advise you that you've got to give that space for that back and forth, rather than feeling like you can be critical or feeling like you can really emphasize how frustrating or concerned or expressing all of your emotions at that time. The more that you can kind of let that natural process of that back and forth, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, kind of easing back into that, oh, it's going to make all the difference in the world. So there has to be that freedom for that movement. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. So enjoy the process and kind of step back and watch and be as supportive as you can. I know it's hard because you don't want to be taken advantage of, but you've got a real narrow way of this unfolding. So I want this to be a success for you, and that's how it can be.
Good to know. Before we go on to the next question, I just want to also remind everyone, we're hovering around that 101, 102. Oh, now we're at 105. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I would like to see even more people, though. So remember, tell your friends, tag them in the comments, shoot them the link to the live. We want to see more people here to have more questions. And I also want to remind everyone to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That will allow you to get notifications every time we get live, especially if you're on YouTube. Hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button. That will make sure that when we go live, you get a push notification to your phone saying when we are live. You'll never miss one again. And we do go live every Monday, same time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, every Monday, except for the third Monday of the month. We have a tarot takeover where one of our psychics will come on and take over all of our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and comment, like manually write out comments, people's questions using tarot cards. And we also are off on holidays. So keep in mind that we will have our next live next Monday on Valentine's Day, February 14th. But we will be off on February 21st for President's Day, and we're right back in here February 28th. Again, trying to get to as many people and help out with these free questions, give you a taste of what it is like to get a psychic reading before you get a real one on the line or on the phone. Or if you're already a loyal customer, just getting that free question in between your sessions. Parsley, want to go on with the next question?
Certainly. So we have a question from Valerie. She says, should I stay within my leadership position?
Oh, I see some of the issues. I think that those issues, the frustration, the chaos, like this looks good on paper, it sounds good, you're proud, the job itself, you enjoy the position, the responsibilities, the inconsistencies with people, the frazzled feeling, that's not going to change. And so I would describe this like it's herding cats is what it feels like. And that's going to be a real challenge for you to feel accomplished and proud and motivated. At what point do you start feeling really defeated? September. So I think that you definitely can sustain. If I was in your position, what I would do is I would start looking for that dream job, manifest that actual dream job of the perfect schedule, location, remote work, salary, and really look at opportunities with that fine-tuned comb to find that dream job, knowing that you've got months and months and months until this really gets bad. Because by September, you're just going to feel like the wheels are off the bus. I need something, and looking for something under that stressed pretense and finding anything, I would approach this very differently. I'd start looking now, take months and months and months to find that perfect position, knowing that by September, you're just ready to walk.
That makes sense.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, you don't want to be stretched too thin, not be able to handle and manage yourself.
in your heart is in the right place and the skill set is there, but I think it's just there's a lot of coming and going, and I think that it's what I'm really seeing is that there are people with a lot of other stressors and responsibilities. We all know what that means right now, and you trying to oversee people with all of these underlying personal commitments and problems and issues, it's just really challenging to get that same degree of commitment that you have, and that's where your enthusiasm is going to run out.
And so our next question comes from Mimi. Hello, Marin. Is my new friend Brent good for me, and will we get serious?
I do feel that this person is a good partner, but it feels like it's very slow, which feels comfortable for both of you. Serious is not going to be until late. I think it's late June, by early July. I think that what you have is a companionship right now. There is this chemistry and this attraction, but it just feels like it's slow to develop, and that's going to just be perfect for you. What else can I say about this? There's a little bit of just a tender heart. And so I think that that's coming from a breakup that hasn't entirely mended, and not wanting to go back, but just feeling like I'm kind of picking up the pieces in my life. And I just wanted to be single for a little while and just kind of breathe. That's what I'm seeing. So I think that that's what's contributing to the friendship and this connection taking a little bit longer to build, but very compatible, and a lot of similarities in mindset around romance and intimacy and commitment, and from a place of respect and exclusiveness. So I do think that this is going to be a real positive relationship for you.
I have noticed we've gotten a lot more relationship questions, and I didn't even put two and two together that Valentine's Day is coming up, and maybe people are trying to figure things out ahead of that.
Alrighty. So our next question comes from Melissa. Love my readings with Marin. With Valentine's Day coming up, I have been talking with a guy named Jimmy. Do you see a future love for us, and when might this happen?
There we go.
What you have is an on off, and so what it shows me is the two of you hold on, timing, I think it's the second week in March. It looks like it is really intense, and just it's overnight. It just feels like it's really hot, and then it dips. And then the second round of when it actually really is sustainable is not until late May. So it feels like it's more of a family crisis or a personal issue or something that just kind of makes it to where I can't handle this right now. I can't even think. I need to take care of family and business, and I don't want to make you wait, but I got to ask you to wait. That's what's going to happen in this. So it feels like he's a little bit more withdrawn and not communicating as much. So the advice for you is being aware that when that starts to fall out by mid-April, that you recognize why, and that it's not you, and that you give that space, check in every once in a while, occasionally giving plenty of room for him to sort things out, and then know that it's going to pick back up in spring, late spring, early summer, once that's resolved. So this is just going to have a little bit of an up and down. I kind of call these like do-overs, but the desire is definitely there.
And we have a response from Mimi, by the way. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for writing back.
So our next question comes from Cassie. Love and gratitude, Marin. Do you see a new relationship or a new job for me in 2022?
Interesting that they are both coming. It's not going to be till fall. So I do get, there are two people that you will have met and dated between now and late fall, but they're stretching me way out. I think it's going to be closer to, I think it's early October. And this is all happening right around the same time. The job situation looks like it's a little bit sooner. August is when I see all of the interviews and documents and all of that happening. September, by the 1st of September, I see you hired. October is when I see the relationship starting. And I really think that you meet this person through this line of work, because it's like boom, boom. There's a lot of void the first half of the year, and just trying to explore, you're weighing options. You're just not really seeing anything that's really grabbing your attention. And then August, September, October, boom, boom, boom. So I direct you to late summer, early fall. And that's when I see all of this change. So in the meantime, have fun, but try to take things with a more lighthearted approach.
And sometimes you just reminded me, whenever you give those timelines that are a little bit longer, that psychic readings don't have to be a one and done type of thing. You know, you get your one question answered. It is great to have those check-ins throughout the year to see if your path is still unfolding the way you want. So I highly recommend, if you get a psychic reading, it's great when you have that one question in your head, but sometimes it's good just to go back in and say, you know, are things still going the way they should, or the way they're meant to be? Because you have that time to course correct and get back on the path if you need to. So just a reminder that, getting your one question answered is great, but having that follow-up is also equally as important. And I know we have had some new people join right now, got another spike in there. So a reminder, Marin, what are your hours? You said you're going to be on later on today. You want to give people time frames?
Yeah. So later this evening, Pacific time, I have some evening hour appointments evening slots available, 7, 8, 9 p.m. And then this tomorrow I'm not so available. Wednesday, Thursday, got some hours. Friday, I've got a lot of hours, and all day Sunday with lots of appointment slots.
Perfect. So everyone, get into those appointments or get in her queue if you're waiting for that to open up. And then if Marin is not available, feel free to find any of our psychics online. You can download our app. You can go to our website. You can call customer service, and they'll help find the perfect psychic for you. We have I think we have over 500 psychics right now. So there's got to be someone for everyone. Really appreciate everyone watching. Over on Facebook, we have people like Marcy Nephew and Andrea Squires and Kimberly McLean. And over on YouTube, we have Linda and Christine and Tiffany. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to keep saying it. Thank you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. And we can get on with one more reminder is in the next, let's say, like 5-ish, 10 minutes, we will be switching over to tarot cards. So if you weren't quite ready to ask your full question, didn't want to use specific names or anything, you can always just ask for any tarot card or a love card or a career, any kind of topic, and Marin will pull that card for you and interpret what it says. So get ready for those in a little bit, but we'll have a few more questions before we get there.
And so that was also a reply back from a previous question, Deneen, saying thank you.
Thank you, Deneen.
Such nice people today.
I know.
So we have a question from Stacy. Hi, Marin. Do you see me being in a serious relationship this year?
Yes, but boy, there's some heartache. The person that I'm getting looks a little bit older. Just very, very quiet, very withdrawn, very afraid. Like what I'm getting is this persona that I am very, very masculine and very strong, but on the inside, very afraid of relationship and commitment. And I think the big issue is I don't want to uproot myself. I don't want to change my lifestyle. I don't want to move. I don't want to live with somebody. I want to just bury my head in the sand and have a companion without changing. So you're in this for the long haul is how you have to view this. You've got like a 2-year plan, 3-year plan of being in each other's lives, but not rushing living together, not rushing this marriage and commitments. So there is a deep friendship. There's a lot of love. There's a nostalgia. So I'm suspecting that you've known each other for a long time, or there's this prior history where the two of you dated 30, 40 years ago, because there is this connection, but there is a real tender heart concealed with a lot of stubbornness, and that's what you're working with. So it is very possible, as long as you know those parameters moving forward. But I do see that, and it is going to be really strong starting in early October into November. Like, that's when it starts getting really good. That's when you start to feel like you just know about the day-to-day routines and what's going on, and you feel like you're a part of each other's lives. But it is a long road ahead, so be prepared.
Let's get one more question in before we move over to tarot.
Okay, so we have one from Kim. I can't be sure if we answered one of her questions earlier. The name does seem familiar, though. Thank you for your guidance. I've been interviewing quite a bit. Will I be employed by the end of the month?
No, it's further out. It's further out when I'm looking in a couple months. I don't see that you're employed by the end of the month, and I feel like you're getting a little discouraged, or it just feels like you're having to kind of pause and regroup to prioritize. This is what I really want, and this is what I'm going to focus on, rather than feeling like I've got 10 leads that I'm chasing and following. So it doesn't look like this is happening by the end of this month. It looks like that's further into March. So no, give it just a little bit longer, but at least I see you narrowing that focus.
Good to know. Now we're going to switch over to tarot. Are you ready, Psychic Marin?
I am. Yes, ma'am. Let me just shuffle the cards for a minute and connect. And we are going to start with rapid fire tarot cards coming your way.
Very nice.
Okay.
Okay. So we have one from Lena. Hi, Marin. Can I get a tarot card on love life?
All right. This is the Four of Wands in an upright position. This would be the happily ever after of marriage, children, family. You have this in a reverse position. So it's showing it's not quite there. You're still working on this. It's not the happily ever after yet, but you're creating that. You're on track for that. You're working towards that with some repair and effort. So this is still considered a good card, even though it's in a reverse position. This doesn't mean all hope is lost. It's just showing that it's not quite exactly what you're aiming for and envisioning.
Awesome. And so next one, another love card from Cassandra.
Cassandra. All right. This is the King of Swords. Somebody that is, they just said coming in. And so I'm suspecting that you're in this quasi relationship or looking for another relationship or waiting for that strong, confident, masculine energy to appear, because that's what this energy represents. The suit of swords representing the suit of air often denotes somebody that's very intellectual, somebody that's more detailed and perfectionist or precise, somebody that's a thinker. So this is somebody that's a combination of that masculinity and a thinker, not so much of an emotional emphasis on the relationship, but somebody that you really connect with the meeting of the minds. So that is what is on the horizon for you. And again, that's the King of Swords. I always tell you what the card is so you can look it up. And California Psychics, Carly can tell you about, has a great resource for looking up the definitions of these cards and getting a little bit more information and insight.
Yes, thank you for that segue. On our blog, we do have a everything you want to know about tarot. So we have one blog post for every single deck of the card, every single card in the tarot deck, and it will tell you what the card means in general. It'll give you keywords for the card. It'll tell you what the card means if your question is about your love life, your career, or if it's about your past, present, or future. So it's a long, detailed blog that can go into a lot of different things, because different cards mean different things depending on what the question is. So it's really cool. And we also have a feature on our app. Our app is wonderful, by the way. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I highly recommend you download it. But we have a pick a card tool in the app where you ask a question as a virtual deck of cards shuffles. And whenever you have your question in mind, you click the deck and it pulls a card. And just like Psychic Marin did, it tells you everything that it could mean for you. And then it even gives you suggested tarot psychics to get readings with that are online at that moment, to help interpret the card further. So really cool feature. Download our app to try that out today. Free to download and free to try.
Cool. And so we have a question just a love card for Michelle.
Okay, Michelle. So you got the Knight of Cups. We just talked about the King of Swords. This is the Knight of Cups. So this represents somebody that is a little more youthful, somebody that is more of an emotional gentleman, because of the because of the suit of cups. The cups, think of water just pouring out of that cup. Think of the emotion just pouring out of somebody's heart. So this is going to be somebody that is a little bit more nurturing or a little bit more of a romantic. The suit of, the court card that we call these of the Knight is an action card. And because he's seated on this horse, the horses often are key indicators. If you look at all the knights in the tarot, you'll see that they're either at a standstill, they're racing, they're moving. And so those denote the pace. If you want to ever key into the timing of a relationship, pull out the court cards of the knights and look at the action of the horse. Is it racing ahead? Is the relationship going to race ahead? This is just barely starting to trot. This is just something that's trotting into your life at a little bit of a slower pace. So that's just a little tip for those of you that want to do a quick timing draw or don't know much about the tarot and how do I get a timing or time frame of the pace of the relationship. Work with the horses in the knights, and you'll be able to, unfortunately, I don't have my knights all flipped up, but you'll be able to very easily compare and see. I was trying to find another one for you, but I don't want to take any more of your time. That is the circumstance surrounding this love card for you. So keep your eyes open for a relationship that's just trotting along, that's very loving, very nurturing.
That's really cool. I never knew that. I like hearing all those little tips and tricks when it comes to reading the tarot.
Oh yeah, lots of them. So here's another one. We've got the Knight of Wands that is like, giddy up, let's go. Like it is compared to I'm trotting along. So just a very simple, quick way of trying to get a read on how is this pace of this new person going to unfold in my life? What's the pace of this job going to be like? When you set that intention before you draw the card, you're going to get a more accurate response in the card that you are drawing. So that's how you can pre-program to get the question answered.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we have Myrna asks for a love card for February.
Okay, Myrna. Oh, I'm trying to see why this is guarded. So another tidbit, every once in a while, if you pick up a card and it just has a flash of like a black or a blank screen, or you just almost don't even see a card there, I'd suggest drawing a second one. When I pulled this up, it just went, oh, like this is going to be a surprise. This is a 9 of Wands. This is guarded energy. This is you being a little bit timid. The individual in this card has a bandage wrapped around his head because he's been hurt. Like he's wounded. He's guarded. He's grabbed one of these wands off of his barrier just to protect himself. So I feel like you are guarded, but the reason why this card didn't sit well is it feels like you're almost unnecessarily guarded. And you're somebody that I would love to talk to, because then I could have a little bit more of a question answer to see where this is coming from, because the card itself doesn't really match your situation. I feel like the advice I want to give you is that you don't really need to be so guarded, and that's what's preventing from a relationship really blossoming. So this is technically, this should be upright, and this is where a psychic could help get all that additional information that you're not going to translate from just reading the definition of the card itself, because it's showing me this is you and you're guarded, but do you need to be guarded? Not this is you, be guarded, protect yourself. And I think that you may have unintentionally read that if you were to have drawn this on your own. So I'm sorry if I overwhelmed you with a lot of information, but this is a unique situation. So I just wanted to give you that extra bit of information. 9 of Wands.
Makes sense. And before we go on to the next question, we have about 10 minutes left. I want to remind everyone that we'll be back here same time next week, Monday, February 14th at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. I have to get all the time zones in there. So make sure you set a reminder, or you can follow and like our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. But we'll be back again next Monday the 14th with our next reading. I believe it's Psychic Kerrigan next time. I have to double check. It is, yes. Carson's saying yes, it is. Psychic Kerrigan will be with us next week. We're taking a break for the holiday on the 21st, and then we're right back in it on February 28th to round out the last Monday of the month. So again, set your reminders, get your questions ready for next week as well. We still have 9 more minutes, so we'll get to some more questions.
All right, and our next question comes from Tabitha. She asks for a love card, please.
Okay. You received the Ace of Pentacles, which, even though this is often associated with finances, the suit of Pentacles is an earth element, meaning just very groundedness. This is showing the answer, if you will, is that you have this in the palm of your hand. Literally, like you've got this really grounded relationship and opportunity. You're level-headed in your approach to love, because you set the question and the intention of love. We're going to look at this as, what is her situation surrounding love? What does she need to know? That you've got it all right in the palm of your hand, and you've got a very logical, grounded perspective towards relationships. So you can move ahead knowing that you've got what it takes, and you've got this sense of stability. So it's a very positive, almost like a blank slate, go for it type of interpretation.
And so our next question, or excuse me, card is from Susan. Future card, please. Thank you.
Ooh, future.
9 of Pentacles, and this is a lovely card. This card denotes somebody that has wealth, but it doesn't define them. The wealth is almost positioned beneath them, because they don't have to showcase themselves through wealth and designer brands and luxury. And in fact, that this person is very in touch with spirit guides because of this little birdie that she's attuned to and interacting with. So this is just showing, like, I am so blessed. Like I've got everything. I've got my house in the background. I've got my spirit guide. I've got wealth that's not really defining me. And so what's next? Like, where do I want to place my energy and my intentions? And so the beauty of this card is that it's not going to show you or direct you, you need to go volunteer at a charitable organization, but it's showing you that you are in such a place of stability where do you want to put your additional energy and time? Because it's bound to be a success, because it's not going to challenge that stability that you do have, that you've worked so hard to create. So this is a fantastic card, just looking at how this represents you and your outlook towards life.
And so the next card is for Kevin. He asked for a love card, please.
Okay, Kevin. This is a tricky one, Kevin. 7 of Cups in an upright position. This is interpreted as your head is in the clouds, or it's often known as the card of the 7 deadly sins. This was reversed. So what it means is your head's not in the clouds, but this is just, you've got fog. Like you're trying to figure this out. You're trying to understand it. There's aspects that don't make sense. What you're being told doesn't match what you're seeing. It's a frustrating, kind of challenging position for you to be in, because it just is like you're beating your head against the wall type of feeling. So I do see this lifting, and I specifically timeline wise, when I start to see the early part of March, this lifts, and I would describe it as this is the potential of the relationship right now. It's starting to kind of even out a little bit more. It's changing to get you out of this very stuck, confused state. So right now, I'm sure that this doesn't feel very pleasant, because it's just confusion. So you're stepping back. You're just kind of letting it air out a little bit for about 3 more weeks, 2.5, 3 more weeks.
Awesome. And so the next card is for Billie Jean. It is a relationship card, please.
Okay. So this is the Wheel of Fortune, one of my favorite cards, because it really denotes the tarot. When you see this card, it's so iconic. And this is a card showing that life is always just changing and in flux. And so what it shows, because it's not reversed, it shows that you can roll with the punches and the changes, and you've got that ability to evolve. And because this is coming up for you, your guides are actually saying that this is more of the year of change for you. So I would describe this more as like a buckle up and enjoy the ride, because the more you fight the necessary change, the more difficult and frustrating, or the more chaotic your life will be. Where if you can really look at this as there's going to be a lot of change ahead, change in living situations, just feeling like I'm just going to throw my hands up and go for it. That's the best approach to have towards life at this time. So, or towards relationships at this time.
We have time for 1, maybe 2 more.
Okay, I'll go fast.
But I want to remind everyone of the promo. So we do have a promo going on right now for our existing customers. Thank you so much to our existing customers that read with us all the time. You can check your profile right now on CaliforniaPsychics.com or on the app to see what that promo is. But if you're a new customer and have never gotten a reading with California Psychics before, you can use the promo code LIVE5 going around the bottom right now, LIVE5. When you are setting up your account for the first time, we'll get you $5 extra into your account. For an example, if you buy the $20 package to have a psychic reading, and you put the LIVE5 promo in the box, you'll actually get $25 in your account to extend that time with your first reading. So we have time for maybe 1, or 1, maybe 2. So let's go on with the next question.
And so we had our comment from Cynthia, which says, "Hi, Marin. Surprise me with any card, please. Thank you."
Okay. Cynthia, you got the 6 of Cups. This is the card that represents nostalgia and those soulmate connections or best friend connections. Like this is the type of friendship or connection that everybody craves or wants. That friend that will be with them through their life, that will be that person of support. Like it is such a deep love. Often denotes that we've lived a past life together and that there's a real depth in connection with somebody. So I hope you know the person and who I'm talking about, because it just is highlighting that this is what you have in your life right now to have gratitude towards. Okay, can we do one more?
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Okay, and our last one will be from Ruth Ann, which she just asked for a card.
Okay, Ruth Ann, we're going to do this. Oh, yes. This is the card that everybody wants. They want to see the marriage card, the happily ever after. This is the Two of Cups, and the caduceus above represents, we see that in the medical field a lot, that represents healing, two people, partnership, coming together, sharing that cup, toasting. Like, this is the holy grail of relationships. So I'm so happy to end our February on this card for the last card, because this is a great card.
It is a good card, a good wrap-up card.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marin, for being here today. Thank you, Carson, for helping me moderate. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for watching. Again, we're going to be back here same time next Monday, Monday the 14th, Valentine's Day. So bring over any loved ones you might want to watch the live with you. But Marin, again, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate having you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.